Right now, a case is pending in Texas centered around the hairstyle of a black high school student. 17-year-old Daryl Georges was suspended from weeks because of his style. His family has since sued the district, even the governor of Texas, claiming the suspension violated the Crown Act. This morning, our race and equity expert, Dr. Rosemarie Allen, joins us to bring some context to this case. Good morning, Dr. Allen.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you very much for asking. I want to start off by asking you how a lawsuit like this is even possible in the first place.
It's really amazing because when you think about what's happened to Daryl George, he has been suspended since August 31st. And he is actually following the dress code of the school district that requires hair not to go below the collar, below the earlobes, and over the eyebrows. His locks are braided on top of his hair, on top of his head. So he's not actually in violation, but they want him to cut it. But Texas, like 23 other states, they have the Crown Act. And the Crown Act is creating respectful, open, I'm trying to get the acronym right. Creating respectful, open world view of natural hair.
Okay.
And because Texas has that law, it allows the families to sue the district for violating the law.
I think people who aren't familiar with the Crown Act might find it kind of interesting that there even needs to be a law to protect hairstyles in the first place. Why is something like that necessary here?
Black hair especially. There has been discrimination against black hair since the 1600s.
You've experienced it yourself.
I've experienced it in the workplace. I was a government official, and there was no way on earth I would be able to wear my hair naturally the way it is now, full of curls, and be okay in the workplace. There's status, wealth, beauty associated with hair. And when you don't fit that standard, which is really based on European standards, then there's discrimination. And before the Crown Act, which is also here in Colorado, that people were discriminated against, told to cut their hair, forced to alter their appearance through dangerous chemicals like perms and weaves and wigs and things like that. And if not, they were really at risk of losing their jobs and being suspended from school.
Well, clearly, as we're seeing with this case in Texas, the Crown Act's existence isn't stopping it entirely from people being, persecuted in this way. I do want to ask, though, has the Crown Act proven to be effective in other cases?
Well, we've seen several lawsuits. I think it can serve as a deterrent to some of the discrimination.
Sure.
But it still happens.
Right.
Because if your boss says you need to tone your hair down, you can sue, but do you want to do that and lose your job?
Right.
So there's this catch-22 for black people. I mean, this Daryl, he's standing up and saying, I'm not going to cut my locks. And because at school, he's willing to go through that and sue. But let's look at it. He's losing 5 weeks of instruction because he's taking a stand. So the law is a great first step, but we have to have some type of accountability and enforcement measures that will take place to really ensure that it's implemented well.
With just the few seconds we have left, I want to ask you, because you've seen the evolution of hairstyles, of course, in the workplace.
Yes.
When you get to see people wearing their natural hair, as you were not allowed to do when you worked for the government, how does that make you feel?
It is liberating. I am so proud, not only in the workspace, but even in journalism. When you see those natural coils and we don't have to alter who we are because our hair is a source of racial pride and dignity. It's our heritage. Yeah. So it's amazing that we're not forced to go against that just to live, work, and play. And
not to mention the harmful chemicals that you have to use in order to not have your natural hairstyle out there, which is a totally different topic that we're going to have to talk about another time. But Dr. Allen, thank you for opening the conversation for us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate it.